What's going on, guys? We're just a couple days away from wood duck and teal season here in Kentucky, and I want to give y'all a few tips to hunting ducks during early season, since it's just a little bit different than hunting during late season.
You ready? Let's kill some ducks. Kill them.
I'm going to start with tip number 5 and count down to tip number 1. Number 1 being the most important thing that I feel like you should know before you go hunting ducks during early season. So tip number 5 is going to be, use mostly, you know, if you don't have blue-winged teal, if you don't have wood duck decoys or whatever, you know, like I said, here in Kentucky we get to hunt wood ducks. A lot of places don't get to, so they're just mainly hunting blue-winged teal. So, you know, a lot of people will go out and buy a bunch of blue-winged teal decoys, buy a bunch of wood duck decoys and everything like that, but you don't necessarily need to do that. And in my opinion, it's actually, you know, not that good to do that, because the blue-winged teal decoys that you can find are mostly full plumage blue-winged teal. This time of the year, they're pretty much just brown. You know, they have like a little blue on their wing, but that's it. You know, from the sky, I don't know that that would even be visible. So what I do when I go hunting during early season is I just grab the darkest colored mallard hen decoys that I can find, and I'll just put a spread out of nothing but mallard hen decoys. Because, like I said, even the mallard drakes during early season look like a mallard hen. So, you know, to me, I think it looks more realistic to the ducks to throw out a bunch of mallard hen decoys during early season. So that's tip number 5. Tip number 4 is going to be practice. Dust that rust off before you go out and go hunting, because you don't want to get out there and get a bunch of ducks in the spread and then miss. So, you know, you haven't shot at all, more than likely, unless you went turkey hunting, and that's completely different. Since duck season last year, it's almost been a year. So, you know, get out, do some dove hunting, shoot some clays like we did just a few days ago, and you know, that's going to get you ready for duck season and get you to where you're hitting whenever they actually do come in. All right, tip number 3, and the only reason it's number 3 is because it doesn't have anything to do with committing ducks. But number 3 is pack something to repel insects, because during early season it's terrible. I know in Kentucky it is anyways. I'm sure it's that way in most states, but out here in the swamps and stuff, the mosquitoes are like pterodactyls. They're massive. So this year, you know, last year I didn't have a thermocell, I didn't have anything like that, so we just threw a bunch of tick spray on our clothes and you know, some Repel on our skin, and you know, it didn't really do the job. Mosquitoes, I don't think they really cared, and they was coming and they was biting me and Jess anyways, and we had bug bites up our arms, all over our faces, on our necks. It was ridiculous. So I'm hoping that this right here will do the trick. I bought a thermocell, and I'm going to give that a try. We'll see what happens this year. I'll let y'all know how I like it whenever we actually get out and hunt this weekend. I'm hoping it'll repel all those dang mosquitoes because they're terrible. Alright, tip number 2. We're getting down there to the most important tips, in my opinion. So tip number 2 is going to be use a Mojo. During early season, the ducks, most of them haven't seen Mojos yet, and they love to see them, so it really catches their eye and pulls them into your spread. But I would say, out of all the ducks, teal and wood ducks, even during late season, when they see Mojos, they come into the decoys. I've had so much luck killing teal with Mojos, even in late season. You know, if there is a whole lot of them around, I'll hunt with a Mojo, even if the mallards aren't really acting like they like them. So I would say definitely, if you don't have a Mojo, go pick up a baby Mojo or a Lucky Duck or something like that. You don't have to spend a whole lot of money, but I would definitely pick one up to use during early season. And like I said a while ago about the dark colored mallard hen decoys, I would just use a mallard hen Mojo. I've actually got 2. I have a Mojo Drake and a Mojo hen, and during early season I actually will just take one of them out and I'll throw out like a dozen mallard hen decoys, or 6 or so, not a ton, and that's it. That's my entire spread, and it just seems like the teal and the wood ducks just eat it up. So yeah, that's tip number 2. So number 1, the most important tip to hunting ducks during early season is going to be scout. That's actually what I'm out doing today. As you can see, I've got a nice little pretty water hole here behind me. Got some flooded, you know, cypress trees and everything in it, but didn't see any ducks in it. It looks pretty, but there's no ducks here. So, you know, a person could look at this and say it looks really ducky, but until you get out here and you see a ton of ducks, or, you know, you see some ducks using a spot, you know, you don't know if you're going to kill anything there or even see anything, regardless of how good it looks. So, like I said, tip number 1, and this isn't just for early teal season, this is pretty much for the entire season. My number 1 tip to you is get out and scout, because, you know, last year me and Jess made the mistake of going out and doing a lot more hunting than we did scouting, and it really showed at the end of the year, because, you know, we probably had, you know, we could probably count the really good hunts we had on one hand, and every single one of those hunts, scouting was done before all those ducks was killed. So, you know, I don't think there's any way around it unless you just get really, really lucky. So I would say that's definitely number 1. Guys, that's going to be it for today's video. I really, really appreciate y'all watching and taking the time to check out my channel. If you haven't already, I really appreciate it if you would. We're going to have a lot of duck hunting stuff coming out here in the next, you know, 4 or 5 months. It's going to be nothing but duck season, and guys, I can't wait. That's what we're all about, is hunting ducks. So like I said, I really appreciate y'all watching this video. This weekend, hopefully we'll get into some wood ducks and teal. Alright guys, I'll see y'all soon.